Hi, everybody. So we are continuing the Launching Your ICO series, and I would like to actually discuss all the technical aspects of the ICOs. We briefly touched them in the previous videos. Today, I would like to come up with and walk over the outline, the map. So we're going to discuss in details as much as possible, and you will be able to, if you wish, just leave your questions below, and we will cover them in our next broadcasts. So eventually, I'm going to share my screen. I will be showing you the presentation. Um, the materials will also be available upon request as a PDF file, so feel free to reach out to us, and we'll send you the deck related to the launching your ICOs. Not only this PDF, but we can also share a lot of more other things. Okay, so yep. So we've got this interesting structure, and it gives you the idea why the ICO is a more complex project that it potentially looks at the beginning, and that's only the technical components of the initial coin offering. If we are going to dig deeper and like go into like marketing, for example, there's going to be a lot of components there, and there is a lot of interaction between both those components within one functions in the company for the ICO, and there is a lot of interaction arrows between the different functions and different components within those functions. But we are covering the technical components today. So let's start with the website. So security is thing number one, all right? So when people ask us, what do you suggest or recommend for the content management? We basically do not recommend to use any content management system, although we know that people do have some do use WordPress, for example. We just don't use WordPress for the websites that we build, and we do not recommend that to our clients. We build the static websites with front-end based templating. For example, Pug, which was, I guess, previously known as um, what was it, Jade, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then secondly, please do attention. Your website will eventually be multilingual. You might not think about this from the beginning, but it is going to be like that. And by the way, we provide the support for different languages in terms of our marketing services. We can totally customize all your communications, translating them into Chinese, for example. Um, yeah, we are particularly focusing on Chinese localization in addition to helping in English. But it has to be multilingual. So it tells you that all your content might be put as the table of strings or something like that, or some array object, and you would then import the same array but in a different language, and could easily build a website in a different languages, or have your website switch between languages easily. Then apparently the website has to be responsive, so it has to be super mobile friendly. I'm not gonna um, draw too much of attention there because it's pretty standard nowadays, and it has to be SEO compliant. And that's the reason why, in addition to other factors, I do not recommend using something like Wix, for example, the website builder. Wix would also give your project a lack of credibility. Like people would easily like go into your code and actually spread the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that you built your website on Wix. That's apparently a sign of poor attention to the ICO, and contributors don't like it. Then the website has to be hosted. So what we recommend to pay attention to is content delivery network for your content to be, or for your website to be loading faster. And there has to be a storage. If you're using the static website, which we recommend, then S3 with the tie to some content delivery network would be a good a good bundle. And together with that, there has to go the DDoS protection. So pay attention to that. I can also add that you want to be careful about the security. So first of all, protect your passwords. Don't use the same password on all the websites. We've heard of super ridiculous hacks where basically the main developer's password was compromised, and he used the same password and compromised through some website that is not related even to the ICO, but in fact he used the same passwords for all the websites, and somebody just sneaked in the hosting and replaced the address of the Ethereum smart contract, and people started to send contributions to the hacker's Ethereum address, which was funny for those who did not contribute, and not funny for those who did, and definitely not funny for the project. ICO cabinet. So what ICO cabinet has to provide? First of all, sign up and login functionality. All right. So that's something that will be the private area for your contributors to go into and have all the interaction with you. Certainly, the sign up and login. Well, not everybody will want to sign up and log in, but this way you will filter out the people that are not so motivated to participate into your ICO. Two-factor authentication is an industry standard nowadays, but some clients decide not to go with it, and we totally understand them. In our case, for example, our ICO cabinet is not holding the wallet itself. You as a contributor would be making a transaction from your own wallet, which you have had before. It's not related to the cabinet. That's why in our case, two-factor authentication is not mandatory. ICO cabinet provides the functionality for documents verification. So that's where you would, as a contributor, you would provide your passport or ID, your utility bill, or any other document proving your residence, etc. So, and as a administrator of the ICO, you would be able to receive those documents and either send them for either manually review them, or there would be the actual interaction and integration with the third-party provider for automated approval. Whitelisting. You want to do the whitelisting for several reasons, but and first of them could be the legal compliance. You want to make sure that people have actually live in the territory and have the status to contribute. And in this case, you would whitelist them. There are several ways how you implement that whitelisting on the smart contract side. One way is to actually create a listing of all the allowed addresses. Second is to provide the data with a special signature, and only the address that is encrypted in a signature will be able to execute the transaction on the Ethereum smart contract. So these two ways. So as I mentioned, the first purpose of the whitelisting is all kinds of legal and financial compliance. Then second is you might want to actually just accept people from the community who will be the key and target users of your platform once your platform is out there, ready, built out. So why is it important? Well, There are several types of contributors during the ICO. There are serious contributors and holders, and you only can hold a coin through the long period of time if you truly believe in it. And you can only believe in the coin if you understand the problem that the project is trying to solve and have a belief in the team and the execution. So you basically believe that the team will come up with a solution sooner or later, and at that point you have huge gains on your contribution, and it may happen in half a year, it may happen in a year, in 2 years. So that's a first type of users. Such users, so once again, the users that clearly understand the problem and the solution that you're working on. Second type of contributors are the people who want to contribute quickly. They usually make a judgment based on the amount of hype that you're creating, and their motivation is actually to flip the coin once it's out there on the first exchange and it's higher in price. They will flip it. They will basically just sell it off at profit, and that's it. And those people who are interested in flipping as fast as possible, they are usually the most impatient. So they are not your users who would be supporting you in hard situations. And hard situations sometimes happen. Sometimes you just haven't communicated for a day or so, and it already creates the FUD amongst those members in the community who are not your loyal user base. So next, so ICO cabinet apparently will walk the contributors through the contribution flow, and you can refer to a different video where we are explaining how we design the flows for the contribution, and then see the history of the transactions. And so once they have made the transaction and the transaction reviews and the history, you know what? It creates it creates additional trust. Like they can see that the transaction went through all good, and they do a repeat contribution. That happens oftentimes. Um, I might go check the exact numbers, but my gut feeling is approximately 10-15% of contributors make more than one transaction within a single ICO. And then ICO cabinet is also the way to keep the communication with your contributors. That's the special widget that we provide for our ICO cabinets. I was already mentioning that there are external providers for verification. They get connected to different KYC, AML databases, hold records, review records from different sources, and give you back the score related to the personal entry. And based on that score, you decide whether you want to approve or reject the candidate into contributors. ICO cabinet is connected with a blockchain node cluster. So we run the cluster on our own infrastructure, Ethereum, which basically is for pulling all the statistics without having to rely on the external APIs, such as such as Etherscan or any other. Bitcoin, which actually is needed to track the transactions that happen to be executed on your wallet. So all the incoming transactions on your wallet, the wallet that will be holding the contributions, we listen to them. Like our cluster listens to those transactions. We don't have write access to it, and like we just think that's a better approach to things. And upon the incoming transactions identified, then the ICO cabinet would talk to the smart contract and issue the tokens to the contributor. Litecoin and any other blockchain nodes. And the cold wallets will be working in a tie with the blockchain nodes. and we recommend you to have both the hot wallet and the cold wallet, and transfer the funds from the hot wallet to cold wallet every now and then. There are different Bitcoin wallets out there. Some are compliant, some are not in terms of multiple addresses generation. So you want to be careful with those as well, to make sure that all the transactions that come through will actually be identified as a transaction belonging to your master public key. Then smart contracts. So apparently every ICO would on Ethereum would have the ERC20 token. There are also other standards, for example, ERC223, which we love a lot. It also consumes less gas. However, it's not the standard yet. So we tried to come up with the tokens that with the 223. Then we came up with a token that is a hybrid of ERC20 with ERC223. But eventually you cannot skip ERC20 because this is the the standard token that exchanges understand, and you don't want to confuse exchanges. ERC 721 is a new standard for non-fungible tokens. Sometimes we see the ICOs where these tokens make sense. For example, that would be the access token or the voting token or member token, something that is non-fungible, non-divisible. Token sale smart contract. This one basically governs all the pricing, bonuses, discounts, tiers of the ICO, definitely start date, end date, and other mechanics. We have the special sheet with all the fields that have to be filled out for the typical token sale. And with our clients, we walk through all those details, oftentimes helping them even polish out their token sale mechanics, add some features to it to make it more tasty for early contributors. Team vesting smart contracts. These are something that govern how your team members will be issued tokens over time. So there could be a certain amount of periods, for example, 24 months vesting or 36 months vesting. It's up to you. So you would indicate the total amount that your member would have to receive, and then throughout which timeline they have to receive it. And then a team member would have to basically claim their tokens. You might want to have the hold contract. For example, you might want to offer your contributors to freeze the tokens for a certain amount of for the certain time, and they would eventually get bonus or any other incentive from your end for them holding their token. Dividend smart contract, if you decide to run the ICO where people would receive the gains from your business profits, etc. Voting smart contract, and there could be a lot more other interesting contracts in your suite of smart contracts for the ICO. Probably worth also mentioning that we also have a special standard smart contract that enables ICO cabinet to talk to the token sale contract and mint tokens for those who made contributions not in Ether and not directly onto the token sale smart contract. And definitely the service mechanics smart contract, so the one that actually governs how your token is going to be used on the platform. All right. This is usually quite a complex mechanic because it has to, oftentimes it contains in itself total supply. So it usually we constructed the way that the more the token is used, the more of the tokens get bought out from the market and burned partially. So it decreases the total supply and it drives the price of the token up eventually. Then you might want to decide to publish your smart contract on GitHub. I will tell you for sure that if you want to position your ICO in a more serious manner, you would want to do that. Your counterparties, such as exchanges you want to list at, potentially crypto funds who want to invest into or contribute to your ICO, will want to look at the smart contract and evaluate it. And basically, a public smart contract repository is a good tone and is the right way to do things. And etherscan.io, you want to basically submit your token information on the Etherscan, and you want to verify your contract there. So basically, I think that's it about the typical structure of the ICO in terms of the technical architecture. I hope it was useful and will help you, understand it better and capture all the aspects of the ICO. Don't miss anything. And if you have any question or need advice, just let me know. Happy to help. We're gonna be covering more aspects in the future also. So stay tuned, sign up to our channel, and wish you successful ICOs out there. Take care.